ounces, grand total of 34 pounds, 14 ounces. He's been a cup winner. He's won a classic, and he was a heavy hitter champion. You know who we got coming up?
Look at that pretty sucker. Fatty. 415, right? Look at that, feels good. That didn't take long. They sounded better.
In 10th place on Championship Day, let's welcome up Mr. I.D. What's happening? How are you guys? You got all the friends and family. I've come on over here and man, making it the championship round, not an easy task. And man, you had a good run at the beginning, but man, just sort of slowed down for you.
It did, and yeah, I mean, if you look at the last couple of days, just for me to be here, it's quite the blessing, because every single day I was making it very dramatic on everybody watching, and for myself as well. That was not my design, but that's just kind of the way it worked out. So yeah, just to be here and get to enjoy this final day. I mean, it's such a beautiful day we had out there on Lake Norman. There was no other place I possibly wanted to be.
Yeah, it was an absolutely beautiful day. Sleet, snow this morning, but man, you got on a roll, and what was different than any of the other rounds besides the weather? What did you find today that you sort of clued into?
I ended up starting in a place where I started yesterday, and I had started another morning that was good for me, and caught a couple fish there on a white bait, and then I ended up going to a place to be quite honest, to try to catch some release fish, some fish that were not the smartest ones in the lake. Somebody had already caught it, so they were hanging up by that boat ramp, and I was able to catch some of them. Some fish there, and after that, you know, I got to a place where it was like, hey, I need something big to really make a big run at this thing. So I went up the river after that and just never reconnected with them. But man, all in all, a very, very fun week.
Positive or negative, what was the biggest surprise Lake Norman threw at you this week?
To not fish any better than the clouds. That really shocked me. It did. Today was a fairly tough day. If you look at the field, a couple of days ago when we had a cloudy day, it was really tough. I did not see that coming with the clear water that it's got here in these spotted bass. I just assumed that those fish would really fire well under those kind of conditions, but they really like the sunshine here for sure.
You know, 3 days of the expo, they missed you, but I'm very happy that you're here now. Let's hear it for Mr.
I got a little ahead of myself. Sorry, I had one thing I got to do. I got a few friends up here with me. Y'all get up here. Come on, everybody, circle around. And I got a few honorary. Got some of Andy Montgomery. I got his niece and his daughter here as well as my daughter. And Andy's not getting a chance to come up here, so he has no chance to defend himself in this. He certainly didn't deliver this week because he didn't even hear fishing today. I didn't deliver today because I didn't win. But I think these kids can tell you something that does deliver. What is that?
Dinner time delivers.
Yes, it does. But just like Andy did the other day, he pulled me back just like that. Now let's hear it for Mr. Well, our next angler coming up used to be from the Carolinas. He replanted down in Alabama, and he is a former classic champ.
There's a good one here, boy. There's a big one there, I think. Oh, God, that's a big one. Yeah. This is some of that, boys. It's pretty large right there. Can't help it, y'all. Right there, buddy. Beautiful bad boy right there. Let's get a still shot real quick.
He holds the record for catching the biggest bass on the Bass Pro Tour, 12-14. Let's bring up Mr. Pretty House! 14 out there, but there might have been a 1-2 or a 1-4, a little breakup of the numbers, but all in all, making it a championship round with these contenders you had here this week, pretty amazing.
Man, I tell you, I'm so thankful, so blessed. I said it yesterday, just being in this event just makes me feel like a kid again. I'm telling you, because I've done this for 30 years now, and since I was a teenager, and I grew up in North Carolina. I'm a Tar Heel. My mom's down in Rocky Mount. Robin's parents are down there in Scotland Neck, North Carolina. We're all Tar Heels, and we've been in Alabama for a while. But it's great to come back to this state and be able to fish a good tournament and make it to the final day to see all the folks out here. Man, we appreciate all you guys and gals for bringing your kids out and following Major League Fishing and watching the live stream. And that's what it's all about. We love it, man, and we appreciate y'all.
You know, look at all the people here that were watching you out today. Millions across the internet. Talk us through.
Hey, I tell you, it was a cold, miserable day, and I really didn't have a chance to win unless I could catch that big bag of really big fish. So I did this a little bit just to catch my limit, and then I got to thinking right there at the end, you know, how much do I need to get another $2,000 or $3,000? You know, I could hear Robin in the back of my head saying, "Hey, it's more money in the next place. You need to call," you know. So I went and caught a few more and kept throwing. I had some. I'm telling y'all, I had a school of biggest spotted bass, 3 to 5 pounders on this one side of this one island, and I saw them and I threw my bait at them over and over and over every day, and I only caught like 2 a day. And today I didn't catch one of them at all. And today they weren't really there very much because the sun wasn't shining. But I stayed after that group of fish because I knew the only way I could win was to catch them. It was a 20-pound bag very easily there. I mean, it was the most big ones I've ever seen cruising. But they're super smart here on Lake Norman. Y'all fish too many night tournaments here. They're smart. They can't see in the dark, but in the daytime they can see too good.
You know, looking back, is there anything you would have changed, either any of the rounds, qualifying, knockouts, or did you play the game exactly how you wanted to play it?
Man, I'll tell you, it really went great for me because I didn't have a very good practice. I actually spent all of my practice up the lake in the dirty water. I was determined that I was going to throw my Livingston red crawfish crankbait and catch them here. That's what I was expecting to do. Okay. And after practice, it was so bad, I spent 2 hours down near the dam, the last 2 hours of practice, and I saw 3 or 4 fish on the bed. I caught a few on a wacky Cinco, and I said, well, I'm going to come down here tomorrow and spend my whole day. And I just practiced every day and fished new water every day and ended up paying off pretty good.
Congratulations on a great week. Let's hear it for Randy. Well, Alexander hails from New Jersey, and you might have seen some of it on MLF Now. He seemed to have a monkey on his back, and I think he got rid of it when he made it to the championship round.
Come on, Santa. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Let's go. That sucker's so freaking round.
Right, we got a TV right in front of it. Here, at least you're right in the middle.
He finished up in 8th place. Total weight 36 pounds, 13 ounces. Today's weight 11 pounds, 12 ounces. Let's welcome up Adrian Congratulations, my friend, on so many levels, not only here in the fishing world, your personal life. You got a beautiful young lady here, but let's talk about it. You knew you had to go big to possibly win this one, and that's exactly the game plan that you stuck to.
Yeah, man, but hold on. Round of applause for Charlotte. Charlotte's showing out. This is phenomenal. Hey, I love Charlotte so much. This girl right here is named to Charlotte.
That's big.
That's huge. That's huge. But yeah, man, I left it all out there. You know, I was fishing the lower end of the lake, doing a lot of sight fishing. Really, that's what got me here. But of course, today, you know, high of 43 degrees and rain, that's not conducive for sight fishing. So I just rolled the dice and I ran way up to the lake and tied on a bunch of swim baits. You guys may have seen me catch a couple of them on it, but the brand new call shad by Berkeley is unbelievable. Can't wait to throw more.
You know, let's take a look at some of your day on the highlight screen right here.
Yeah, so this is my first bite of the morning, and I think it was pretty early. Yeah, so that was like a 3.5 pound. Hey, that was a slight touch. Did you see that? I got a penalty on that. And oh man, I was pissed. That was a slight touch. Everybody agrees. See, everybody's laughing. Kind of like that Eagles game. Who watched the Super Bowl, man? I don't know. I'm a Philly fan.
You know, let's talk about it. Did you break out some of the finesse tackle there? I know your plan was to not touch them. You left them in the rod locker, but where did you end up throughout the day?
Yeah, you know, I stayed true to the guns. You know, I did catch one on an nail weight, I will admit, but I did catch the other 4 on a big swim bait. And I really thought in order to put myself in contention, I needed a really, really big bag. And my wife told me, hey, you need to catch what Charlotte weighs, and Charlotte weighs 22 pounds, if you guys are wondering. And I did not do that, but that would have won this tournament. But yeah, so we caught 4 on that big swim bait. We stayed true to it, had a great time. And let me just tell you, I've worn a lot of rain gear out there, a lot. Okay, and I've been with Grunions now for 3 years, and it's nice to be able to take your rain gear after a soaking day like that, take it off, and not have to change your clothes underneath. And man, I was bone dry all day. Been running my Bass Cat Suzuki up and down this pond trying to make it happen. And man, I got a bunch of other sponsors to thank, but thanks to all you guys, because you guys allow us to do this. And man, I'm chasing the dream. I love it. I love going to work every single day, and I thank you guys.
One more time for Mr. Adrian Ospina! Well, our next angler coming up, I am telling you, once his career really started moving and he started getting all those stage wins, he won the RedCrest to present Head in Motion.
Oh, here she goes. She's starting to sing a little bit. Unbelievable.
He's going to finish up in 7th place. Total weight 37 pounds of 3 ounces. Today he went 11, 12. He's known as DC. Man, it was a slow-moving morning, and then you got that first bite, and then you're like, oh wow, they are here.
I was being stubborn. I went largemouth fishing this morning. I don't even want to really talk about the fishing that much. I just want to say, what's up to this crowd out here? Come on with it.
You can keep that kind of noise going for every single angler, even when you're not up here.
Yeah, Charlotte's showing out today. I appreciate it. It feels good to be out there in 40-degree weather. My hands are hurting. And to come back to this is awesome. But yeah, I was stubborn a little bit this morning, but I knew I had a big deficit, and I went out there and I went and caught a few spotted bass, and then I went back largemouth fishing. I never had a largemouth bite all day, but I felt good about it, and it's been a great week for me.
You know, let's take a look at some of the highlights here. And this Wally gun, Wiggins, he found it too, and he did pretty well off it.
I saw Wiggins sitting over there. I was going to run over there and go try to catch a limit. And Wiggins was sitting there every time I ran by, and I was like, oh man. So I ran over there and I was like, oh, let's go catch a limit. And then I went back largemouth fishing. But we had fun there. I caught like 25 fish. It was fun.
The RedCrest title is a game changer, and this one here, you had to go with, I think the weather was about just the same when you won that title.
Yeah, you know, this tournament is super special to me because I've won one of these and I know how big it is, you know, for your career. And it's hard for me to sit there and try to fish for like a top 10. I want to win. Everybody wants to win, you know. And so I went out there and I fished hard, and even in those brutal conditions, man, and you know, my hat's off to Bryan. He absolutely dominated. So I just heard that we're going to Lay Lake next year for RedCrest. I live 12 minutes from there.
Limit does go off limit at some point.
That's it. So hey, I want to say another thing. You know, I want to thank all my sponsors, Bass Pro, Favorite, Guggen, you know, all these companies that support us. I caught all my fish this week. Actually, on the first day, I crushed them on jerkbait. I was using a 6.8 Favorite Pro Series. But another thing I want to say, the fishing industry and everything is so healthy right now. I look around and I see like a ton of high school kids. Raise your hand if you're in high school. That's what I want to know. There's a ton of guys out there in high school. So it really makes me feel good knowing that younger generation's coming up, because I swear, like, in my mind, I still feel like I'm in high school, even though my back hurts every day, you know. So, but yeah, and I want to say this too. I literally, like, I live this dream every day. Like, I get out here and I launch my boat against Edwin. I see Brian. Like, dude, I watch these guys in high school fishing, you know what I mean? And like, it's a blessing to get out here and do this for a living. So if you're out there and you're 15, 16 years old, I promise you it can happen. So keep that dream alive, and I appreciate everybody coming out.
Well, I have seen your YouTube channel and your Instagram. You are sort of still in high school in some sense of the word. Let's hear it for Dustin Connell! Well, coming up next, this man here, a former classic champion. He's from the Carolinas, but the southern one, you know who I'm talking about.
Just look out there and make the team. There's some good ones in there. Man, I got a look at this thing. I'll make that silver now.
Today he had 15 pounds, 11 ounces. ounces. His 3-day total, 40 pounds, 4 ounces for 6th place. Let's welcome up Casey Ashley! My man, what a great showing. I know everybody was going to win this one, but man, you hooked into some big ones, and it was a game changer midday.
It was, first of all, before I get started talking about fishing, I gotta say one thing. I want y'all to know how much I appreciate my sponsors, because I hadn't really said a whole lot. We've been talking about fishing. You made me talk about fishing when I get up here, Larry.
Well, that's my job.
Anyway, I got the best sponsors in the world. I got to give them a shout out. Coastal Sunglasses, Triton Boats, Mercury Motors. I'm probably going to forget them, but I'm going to tell you one that I'm going to remember, and that's Sims. Because today was a cold, wet, nasty day. If I wouldn't have good rain gear, good suit, way to keep warm, my butt would have been sitting on the dock of the bay with you. I wasn't going fishing in this. God, it was nasty today, but I love fishing in the cold weather. As y'all know, I kind of wanted a big event when it was super cold. And then last year at Fort, I shined through. But man, I love fishing in the cold, but I love fishing here. I don't get to come here much. Like, I'm pretty close, but not close enough. But you get a lot of bites on this lake. And it's coming around. The largemouths are starting to get bigger. You're starting to see them more and more. And if y'all take care of this place, it will be really good. And I'll tell you what, how about this crowd we got here?
It is amazing. And let's take a look at some of the highlights. I think your Berkeley Big Bass of the day, and I think you captured the money on another day too, but talk us through these.
Yeah, I started out this morning in an area that's got some really big largemouth, and I couldn't get it going. I was just trying everything that I could. I actually caught like a 25-pound blue cat in here on a spinning rod. So anyway, I hunkered down, moved around, finally got in another area that I hadn't really touched on a whole lot this week. That's how I caught this big largemouth. He was on a brush pile on a dock that I fished in practice and didn't get bit. But today, 5 pounds. And then I went on a little ways longer, and I caught a 4-pound spot. And I just told myself, I'm going to stick with this. I'm doing what I love to do all week long. I was throwing My Shaky Head by Greenfish. It's called Casey's Cleanup. Zoom, green pumpkin trick worm. And then after I would get, limited spots that weigh 12 a pound, so, and I pick that jig up, I just start covering water. I'm throwing a greenfish, skipping jig, green pumpkin with a big salty Zoom, green pumpkin chump on the back, 20-pound line, quantum reel, 7:3-to-1 gear ratio, 7.2 medium heavy rod, just cover some water. Doing what I love to do, skipping docks, and there's not a shortage of docks on this place.
One last question. Your moves today, was it based on the score tracker or just a feeling?
It was just a feeling, I had an area of the lake, it was like a 3-mile, 4-mile section that I just knew there was some big fish in. And I tried to concentrate my whole tournament in that area. I fished little pockets. This place has got millions of pockets. I fished different stuff in a day, but in the same area, just trying to fish something that somebody else hadn't fished in the last 24 hours.
And this place is popular. Not too many spots like that somebody has to fish. Let's hear it for Mr. Casey Ashley. This next angler comes from Alabama, and he is fishing his first ever RedCrest, and that deserves a round of applause. Make some noise as we get ready to bring him up.
Come here, please. That's what I'm talking about. Come on. That's a good. Dude, how pretty are those fish? I love them. How can you not love them?
Well, today's weight was 11 pounds, 10 ounces. Grand total over the 3 days going to go 40 pounds, 10 ounces for 5th place. Put your hands together for Matt Lee! Man, oh man, wait, it's a good day to have the last name read here in the RedCrest Championship.
It was a good day. Today was not, we watch replays. I'd rather just watch that 5-10 from yesterday, but it was awesome day. It was brutal conditions. We didn't, catch 2 more 5-10s we needed, but it was awesome week, awesome day. This place is awesome. Y'all coming out here at the expo, being here every day, awesome. Thank you for coming out. Little quick side note on me. Last time I was at Norman, I had to catch him here at this lake to qualify to fish professionally, and there was a lot of stress. Spent a lot of time riding around men, and now I'm back 9 years later, and fishing it again and having success this week, it really brings back memories and means a lot.
You know, let's take a look at some of your day. And Cameron, the boat, man, you had some great words of wisdom. Something about your drawers, had pictures, suspenders. It was a busy day on the water.
I honestly don't remember takeoff. I don't remember any of this. This is survival mode right here. I asked my wife, I said, was everybody else look as miserable as me? She's like, maybe just because I know you. But it was cold. And yeah, suspenders, sagging pants, lost some, caught some. It was a whirlwind of a day, but I told Wheeler he beat me by an ounce. I don't know how much money that's going to cost me, but there's always some kind of cut line. Like, you're not on the cut line, you're not in competition to win, and then you're like, I'm running around like wide open, 5 minutes left trying to catch that 1 ounce and couldn't. But it was a great week.
You know, we talked yesterday about confidence and making decisions. How were your decisions today? Or looking back on the day now that you rode back from the lake, what do you look back and see from this day?
Well, probably with it being a tough conditions, I should have just caught fish. But the thing that steered me the wrong way was a big paddle-tail swim bait. I had a bite and I lost it right off the bat, probably 3-pounder, give or take. So I ran that thinking I just need 4, 3, 5 bites on that, and then wasted like most of the first period. And then got the second period and I'm like, gosh, I can't go out here and finish 10. So I, third period, put my head down and caught fish and got up to 11 something. So hindsight's 20/20. It just wasn't my day. The stars didn't align like yesterday. It was a day I never forget, and awesome week.
What do you mean it wasn't your day? You beat 35 guys at the RedCrest Championship.
That's the brutal part about fit. Every time, like whoever wins this one, I think we know who won it. Next week, we start another tournament on Wednesday. He'll be mad if he doesn't catch him there. So we're always trying to do better. It's ridiculous how much pressure we put on ourselves, but it was an awesome week. I know, I'll be grateful. It was good. Tough day today, but it was an awesome week, awesome tournament.
This kind of finish creates a lot of confidence. Let's hear it from Mr. Madley. There's a couple guys, whenever they are on the water, they are a threat. Our next guy coming up, he's been a 2-time Belly Bet Angler of the Year on the Bass Pro Tour.
Yeah, get over here, bro. Yes, sir. Bang, bang, bang. Yo, Steve, straight legs. Baby. Now you need that freaking go. Woo! Yeah. There it is.
Today, he had 11 pounds, 13 ounces, grand total weight of 40 pounds, 11 ounces, finishing in fourth. Let's bring up Chico Wheeler! Oh, hi Olivia, how are you? Good to see you, sweetheart. She's been waiting for a long time for you to come in, and man, oh man, one of your biggest fans. I'm going to say your biggest fan.
Yeah, she definitely is. Man, it's awesome. She goes, Dad, why did you not win that trophy? I think she asked me last stage. I'm like, well, maybe next time, Liv. So, she's unbelievable, and the whole family support for her is awesome. But yeah, she's like, Dad, I want to go on stage. Can I go on stage? I'm like, yeah, come on with it.
This year, the 5-fish limit, you had to keep upgrading your catch. Here in the championship day, you knew it was going to be tough to catch anybody up above you when you started.
Yeah, I tried to fish big baits this championship day. I was on the glide, and the thing is, you're going to see a lot of fish that follow it, but actually generating those big bites, I was able to catch a few pretty nice ones, but I never got that great big fish, this week. I had, a couple 3-somethings, never cracked over 4, and that's what it takes to win this tournament. But overall, it's been a great week.
Let's take a look at some of your highlights that are up there and talk us through these.
This one right here is actually a fish I literally threw a glide bait up there, and I couldn't get him to bite. And I actually had one ticket, I lost one, and I throw a Miko out there. I'm using a red line, size number 2 red line VMC Miko hook. This one right here was on a glide right here. And it was just sort of a 1-2 punch. I tried to do as much as I possibly could to generate that big bite. Again, there's so many bass in Lake Norman that you just have to throw something that ultimately is going to be a bigger profile to generate that bigger bite out of it. A lot of times you see like 10 or 15 fish around on a place, and there'll be 2 or 3 3-pounders in every single group. The key is getting that big one to bite. That's why you have to throw a little bit something bigger, or you just got to get a little bit lucky and get that big bite.
How many times have you won a stage or a big tournament you seem to bounce around spot to spot to spot. Is this a kind of lake that you had to settle down here on championship day and really work the area?
See, I just love fishing isolated stuff, and I love running around. I put a lot of time and effort into this tournament, and I came down here and prepped and pre-practiced and graphed, and I found a lot of stuff. It got a little bit too far past that stuff. It was a little bit later pre-spawn, and I think a lot of it, you try to prep as much as you possibly can for these tournaments. We only have 2 days of practice. I literally was practicing in the qualifying rounds. I caught a lot of my fish on brand new stuff that I never made a cast on, throughout my entire life. So, I mean, that's how it is, and that's the way it crumbles. But I put my effort in, and I was able to, by doing that, I was able to have a pretty solid finish.
When it comes to Major League Fishing, you pretty much won everything you can in this one. Still slipped through your fingers a little bit this week.
No doubt. I mean, I didn't lose it. Thrift just won. And that's the difference here. You just look at what he accomplished and what he caught every single day. He didn't slip up. And I left it all out there on the water. If I was an ounce or a pound or something like that, I'd be like, dang, man, you let this one slip through your hands. But you just got beat. So it's great to see an unbelievable angler, one of the best that's ever fished in my mind. And for him to be able to do it on his home pond. It's just 3 major wins and probably the biggest of all 3. It's pretty impressive.
Incredible sportsmanship right there. Let's hear it from Mr. Jacob Wheeler. Blowing kisses. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our next angler. He was our first ever Bass Pro Tour Valley Bass Angler of the Year, and he was our very first RedCrest champion.
Look at it. Best 4 5 I've ever caught, ever. Oh, yes! Woo! Woo! Woo-hoo! It's everything.
Today's weight, 14 pounds, 12 ounces, grand total of 41-14, finishing in third, it's Double E.A. And today, all you want is a chance to hoist that trophy, and you had some chances today.
I did. It's a frustrating deal, to see the bites and have the bites, but you got to be happy with where you finish. Brian's a really tough competitor on this lake. Kind of a funny story. He was actually my co-angler back in 2005, the first event I ever won here. He was in the back of the boat as an amateur, so I'm going to take a little bit of the credit. Maybe I showed him a few spots that he caught some of those fish on this week, but my hat's off to him. Big congratulations.
Let's take a look at some of your day right here, and talk us through, if you had to take one day back and redo it, which day would it be in these final 3?
Oh, it'd be the first day, no doubt. I think I had 13 something that first day, and it's just such I'm swinging with a couple big swim baits. This one here is a glide bait from Mike Buka. I caught a lot of fish this week on a brand new Berkeley coal shad. It's a really, really cool bait. Caught a good fish today on a jig, that new finesse jig that Berkeley has, but it's just, you see so many, or you have so many different opportunities, and I guess that's just what, that's part of swim bait fishing, you're not going to always get them all in the boat, but it's a lot of fun. This one here was a 310, and it was a super cool bite. Like, all the time I'm throwing that swim bait, like my heart is racing, like on every cast, because you just know at any second, like a big old fish is going to come out and get it, and like, I don't know, like how many heartbeats you get in the daytime, but I had like 3 times as many as I'm supposed to have today, I promise you.
Looking back at the cold weather, the rain, does that sort of hurt your concentration? Does it sort of break it, worrying about all the other elements you're dealing with?
Well, this is a 5-day event. The 3rd day of the event, we had clouds, and that I didn't make the right adjustments that day. Towards the end of that day, I kind of figured it out, and today I was able to roll with the clouds. So, that's how a guy wins these events. You make those adjustments that much quicker. I just didn't make the adjustment quick enough on that 3rd day to get those bites. So it is what it is. That's why I'm standing up here in 3rd place.
I've had some great success in championships, and this is the creme de la creme, and this is what you fight for all year long.
It is. We had our first Bass Pro Tour event down in Florida, and every fish catch, all year long in all events. You know, every one of you are trying to get in the boat, and all I think about is, man, trying to make a RedCrest. You know, I need this one in the boat to make a RedCrest. Then you do it again the next day and the next day, and then you lose one, and you're like, man, I hope that don't cost me a point or 2 points. You know, because that's how tight it is to get into this event, and it's a grind out there. Like we fish really hard under all conditions all year long to get on this stage right here. And this is the reason. When you look at all these great people out here, and you got the great sponsors, General Tire and Optimum and Bass Pro, the people that support us, Mercury Outboards, and we couldn't do it without all these people right here and all the fans. And this is where you want to be, standing on this stage.
Well, you qualified 40th and you finished third. I think that's something to be truly proud of.
Well, thank you. Hey, I couldn't be up here without a couple things. You know, my wife, my daughter, my son-in-law, now new grandpa. I'm really proud of it. But big hats off to them, because, you know, they take care of everything while I'm away. And, you know, big thank you to just the sponsors of our sport. You know, Mercury Outboards, General Tire, and Bass Pro Shops, and Optimum Batteries, and Lorraine's. The list goes on and on. But just, I mean, they support us, they support you guys, and you know, it's just hats off to them. We couldn't do it without them.
Well, they've been doing some amazing things here at the Expo. Let's hear it for Edwin Weaver. Well, he was cut from some incredible fishing fabric. He had a dad that was a classic champion. He made a name, a big name for him last year, 2022, when he took a stage win. And here, he really showcased himself at RedCrest.
There he is, another big one. Dude, he's got it gagged. This is good. That's a big fish. I need a straight change. Look at that one. That's a big old spotted bass. Look at how thick he is. Beautiful fish. That's a beauty right there.
Nelson Jones Jr. Today he had 10 pounds, 13 ounces, total weight over the 3 days, 42 pounds to 6 ounces for second place, Elton Jones Jr. Coming in the championship day, you have to be looking. It's only a little more than a pound. I can catch it, but you know, 5-fish format, it was going to be tough to catch shrimp.
Yeah, you know, I knew we were going to have to catch him today. There was no doubt about that. I didn't do my job, but I'm practicing basically out there. I ran all new water yesterday, caught 17 pounds, so I kind of went with the same strategy today. And when you're doing that, you've got to get a little bit of good fortune. Today we just didn't run. We had one good bite, a 3-pound 6-ouncer, and when I caught that fish, it was somewhat early, and I was like, okay, 3 more bites away, and we can win this thing. But you know, all in all, it was a great week. Huge congrats to Bryan. You know, this is a 5-day event, and to manage fish and just deal with the pressure of that long an event, it's something really difficult to do. And you know, y'all have a really special place here at Lake Norman. My hands are destroyed. I bet I caught, like, with the exception of today, I was probably catching 40 bass a day for the first 4 days. And man, it's just a fun place.
You know, a big second day. We're going to take a look at your day in the water. A big second day for you. Today, a lot of fish caught, but man, just not the right size like you'd seen earlier in the week.
Yeah, you know, I think the cold weather and the rain, just they weren't positioning. I was live scoping under dock shallow. You know, you hear live scoping, you think open water, nomadic fish, but the capabilities of what that Garmin train, that LV, or the Live Scope Plus can do, and I'm looking at fishing like 2 feet of water. It's amazing. And when you're running the water and practicing, like, you need to be efficient. And I could look at a dock, scan a dock, I would know right where that fish was sitting, or where it wasn't sitting, and either move on to the next dock or fish the post or the position where that fish was sitting. And it was amazing.
Confidence from the win in 2022. Obviously, RedCrest, you looked against some of the guys you idolized as a kid coming up, you know, going to so many events with your dad, that you looked up to these guys. And what's it like to compete with that caliber, and you being that caliber?
Man, to compete against this crowd, or this group of guys, is just amazing. Like, you know, I think I was sandwiched between Jacob Wheeler and Bryan Thrift and all those guys this morning, and going out, it's a dream come true, you know, and you got to have respect for these guys, because anybody can win at any given time. And, you know, I couldn't have done anything without the support of my family back at home. Kelsey, I love you. She's 8 months pregnant. And, you know, my sponsors, General Tire, they're the presenting sponsor of this expo that you guys have all got to enjoy. Phoenix Boats, Garmin, Mystic Lubricants, ARE. I know I'm missing some, but I just want to say a huge thanks to everybody who came out today. This is a great crowd, and congrats, Bryan.
Let's hear it for Elton Jones Jr. Well, after today, this next guy, he might be North Carolina's favorite son.
That's a freaking giant. When you get tired of it, Mr. Bass, these fish don't ever give up. See what that one did. That he cast 3 pounds. Biggest one I've caught yet.
With a grand total weight of 46 pounds, 12 ounces, in first place in your 2023 RedCrest Champion presented by Starlight. Let's welcome up Bryan Thrift! Two-time 4-foot cup champion and put RedCrest on the list. What a week for you.
Yeah, this has been a great week. I want to thank everybody for coming out. You know, it's awesome to have the hometown support here. I can't tell you how many people has come up to me ever since the RedCrest was announced back in July. Actually, I didn't even hear about it. I was in Oklahoma with my family on vacation, and all my buddies are texting me, RedCrest on Norman. I'm calling like, nah, y'all are just messing with me. And so I actually had to call the tournament director to confirm to make sure it was true. And it was, and ever since then I've had thousands of people say, hey, you're going to win RedCrest, you know you got it. So here we are.
You know, you talk to any guy who's been on a championship in home water, home state, it is not easy to win on that home body of water.
It's really not, and especially this week. I know me and Andy Montgomery were both thinking that with the warm weather, we're not going to have much of an advantage because all the fish are going to come to the bank. And that's the way it was for most of the event. I mean, we had a little turn the last 2 days with the cold weather. I think that played into my favor. I had a couple offshore spots I was saving for the final 2 days that kind of pulled out the win for me.
You know, let's take a look at this championship day from your winner here at RedCrest.
Yeah, that was a little offshore spot I'd saved. I wasn't wanting to go to it till today, and I ended up having to go yesterday, and I caught a good bag, and then thankfully there was enough there today to sell it.
You know, when you look at those spots that you had, and you said you wanted to save it today, were you running out of secret spots, or were you nervous you were going to have to run around and burn up a lot of time doing that?
Now, this is the thing about offshore in Norman. 12 or 13 pounds is about the best I can ever do. So that's what I try to catch offshore, and then I go run the bank and look for a good kicker. And today I never got that kicker bite, and thankfully we didn't need it. We caught a good bag offshore.
You know, obviously, Owen Jones Jr., incredible angler. He jumped up in that lead for a little bit, and he was sort of slow moving in the beginning part of the day.
It really was. Like I started out on a place that I've been catching them all week, throwing a little 1/4 ounce Debiki underspin with a 3-inch armor shad, and I ended up catching a few non-scorables, and then I caught, I think, 2 scorables on a Fitzgerald football jig, my micro football jig from Fitzgerald Fishing, and that kind of got the ball rolling. And I ran a few other offshore spots and ended up catching 4 scorables, and that was at the end of the first period. And I'm like, well, I'm going to run shallow for a little bit, see if we can catch one. And first cove I go into, I catch one almost 3 on a swim bait, but then I quit getting bites. I started running more pockets. I'm not getting bit. And the whole time I've got this spot up the lake in the back of my head where I caught 13 pounds yesterday in about 25 minutes. I'm like, we got to go, because if they're there, we can get a good bag, and then we can get back throwing this swim bait and try to catch a big one and win this thing. So I trucked up there to it in the middle of the second period and caught everything I weighed.
You know, since you entered the Bass Pro Tour, some great results. Did you think the win would come sooner than it did? Although the RedCrest is a great place to get the first one with the Bass Pro Tour.
Yeah, you never know when a win's coming in this sport. That's the thing about it. It usually sneaks up on you, and that's kind of what happened here. You know, I had that giant day, the first day of the knockout round, and that's pretty much what carried me through here. I finished second several times over the last 4 years, and you know, the last event I won was in 2019. It was the last ever FLW Forest Wood Cup. So for the next one, there'll be another major championship here at RedCrest. That's amazing.
Well, are you about ready?
I'm ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's going to walk back. He's going to grab that. I need you to make some noise for none other than your 2023 RedCrest Champion, presented by on coming out here to Charlotte, North Carolina. Make sure you tune in to MajorLeagueFishing.com for all the information. Stage number 2 right around the corner. And we have announced the next 2 RedCrest. If it's in your area, if it's not in your area, make sure you check us out at MajorLeagueFishing.com for MLF Now. And here with a $300,000 check one more time. On behalf of Major League Fishing, all our cast and crew, our incredible sponsors, we thank you for coming on out. What an incredible week here. Getting done by the man from North Carolina. One more time, let's hear it for Bryan Thrift.
Good job, Bryan! Let's go, Bryan!
Way to go, Bryan!